Alright, the next thing we're going to do is, in whittling small gifts to give away, is let's go ahead and get into the figures themselves. Now, we're just going to do a normal figure for the first time that will fit on this, this small base here. Now, we're just going to do the regular normal figure with the hands in the pockets the first time. Now, let me show you. Now, this is a little bit bigger figure, but not much bigger. This is the little scenes that you can create. You can see that this is just a little bit bigger than this one, but you can actually build scenes with this little wood chopper on the on this this piece that we have here. And for just to stand alone, this will fit on this one right here. But you can actually create small scenes like this. The little wood chopper and the little in the snow. So that's what I'm trying to get to. So since it is just a normal little figure that we're going to do, we cut him out. And we're just going to separate the head. This is only about a little over 2 inches tall. And this is about 7/8 inches wide. So we're just going to do the normal figure, and as we go along, we'll actually put little figures. Not next time, but next time I think I'm going to do a little bear. But we can take these little figures and actually make scenes with them and do things like that. We're going to advance as we go along. Once again, I want to say this: these are very small figures. If you are a beginning carver, do not attempt these things. These are for more, moderate to advanced carvers that know how to control the knife. When you get this small into the figure, then it's best not, if you do not have enough skills or knife control skills or have not been in a long time, not to attempt these things. I don't, these are small figures, and I've already made that quite clear. I want to make that quite clear. All right, as you can see, we have worked on just rounding off the figure. Now, when you watch my videos, when I do things like this, I do these small figures. When you watch the video, always take it and put it on, enlarge the video so that you can see better, because on these small figures, it's hard to see without enlarging, which most of you probably do already. All right, now we've already starting to shape our head. You see how what we're doing? And we will not put ears on him or anything like that, in other words. But in time, we'll work on the fact that we can actually have them doing things. All right, I'm going to go down to the feet, and I'm just going to go ahead and I have been carving figures for a long time, and small figures for a long time. So I always make the warning that if you have not done this and have never, learn how to carve larger figures first, and then you can go into the smaller figures. But try not to do anything that is, but he will set on a small base like that, and you can work him together. As you can see, the head will take some time. All right, now we've got our form that we want basically to to make this work. Since the bottom is not, will probably be on the base, you don't really need to carve this out in here. So let's just go ahead and got some sun coming in here. Don't want it to get blind spots of what we're doing. I may have to move back just a little bit if that sun comes out too much. It looks like it's going back behind the clouds again. So this will give you a... All right. Now all we're going to do, and I just come and take a little bit off each side. I'm just, getting this. Let's go ahead and just use this as a basis of putting our hands in our pocket, which we draw, putting the hands in the pocket. We cut down like that. You've seen me carve figures before, but this is a very small figure, very small. So you want to be extremely careful because that knife is right on your hands. If you are a beginner or have not carved a lot, do not carve without a carving glove. Use a carving glove. I used to use a carving glove when I was not sure of myself. Now, one of the reasons I could use one, but one of the reasons I don't use a carving glove right now is because my hands, the way I hold a figure, if I can't hold it with a glove. I have trouble holding it. But that has come with age. When I was younger, I was able to hold the piece with a carving glove. But my hands don't work like they used to, so I'm not able to use a carving glove because it will become more dangerous to me. And that's not an excuse either. And let's go to the other side and do the same thing. Like I said, we're just going to carve the basic figure that we are doing right here to help get this going. There we go. Because this is a small figure. Like I said, he stands just barely over 2 inches. Just barely over 2 inches. So that is a small figure. That is a very small figure. So you do not want to, just putting the hands in the pocket here. You do not want to push it. It's not for people who have not carved a long time. Just come in the back. So as you see right here, we are just carving the basic figure. Okay, I'm going to come a little bit more. I've been carving these figures a long time. And we're just going to draw in between the legs here. And I separate that little crouch area right there. Your knife must be very, very sharp, and you must be able to control it. I'm not trying to add gifts here for people that can't make them. I just recommend that as a beginner, learn to control the knife, learn to sharpen your knife, because a figure like this, when it's this small, when it is that small, then you're not going to be able to put a lot of pressure or you'll break things. So there we go. There's our little figure right there. Now, we won't make it hard. We won't make it difficult. And you want to come back behind here and you will just kind of run that up here like that and run that up here like that. In which case you take your knife and you run it along there, and then you come from the inside of the hand or the arm, you take that out, and there you go. The same thing here. We move our knife around like that. See how easy I'm able to do that? Because I've done it a lot and my knife is very sharp. But if you don't know if your knife, you haven't got your knife sharp enough. And let me say something. A lot of guys feel that their knife is sharp because it can shave hair, okay? But I've used a lot of people's knives that can shave hair, and if it's not, you know, I'm using a very thin blade here. If it's a thicker blade, you're going to have a hard time doing a piece like this because it is for thinner type blades. This is a Ron Wells knife. You cannot, Mr. Wells has been dead for a while, you cannot find it, but your OCC, and of course Helvey makes a great knife. You can use those. When you work on these small figures, I do not recommend a blade more than 1 inch and 3/8. You can use a 1.5 inch blade, but I like to use the smaller blades when I do these small figures. So much easier and so much way. All right. Now all I'm going to do here is just run this up, run it across, and run it down for the pants. Okay? And I'm going to cut here. I'm going to cut across. And I'm going to cut down. Okay? And I'm going to come from the bottom here and take that off right there. Okay, I'm just going to do it like that, and then I'm going to just if you want to come on the back here, I'm just going to draw it across there, come on the back here and cut that for the back. Safety is the #1 thing. It really is. And like I said, if you have not been carving a lot, don't do these until you get your knife control. Been carving a long time, and just because your knife is sharp, if you don't know knife control as you should, in other words, you can control the knife. In other words, what I'm saying is, when you deal with these small figures, you have to know, like when I have to know how much pressure to put on this very lightly so that I will not take off a lot or it will not break on me. That's what knife control is. Knowing how to work with the grain of the piece. Now there's not a lot of grain in basswood, I have to admit, but working with the grain of the piece, working with those things. I'm going to come down here and make this cut to separate the shoe from the bottom of the pants. But I know how to make light cuts to do these pieces. If you don't know how to do that, please don't attempt that. Give yourself time. I've seen some pretty bad cuts by people that had no business doing what they were trying to do. God has been with me. I have not cut myself badly over the years. So, okay. I'm going to come down here and make these little cuts in the pants so that it will give it, you know, like it's creases in the pants. Wrinkles is what I call them. You want to be very careful. Their V-cuts is all you do. We want to, from the pants this way, we want to come back here and just draw where the pants go. We want to make a cut like that, and we want to come up from the bottom of the pants and make our ways. And by making these cuts like that, it helps the pants look like they're used. Let me cut this a little bit more in here. Separate that. That's why I said don't worry about separating it right there. And where you can do that. And we're going to do that kind of like in there. Okay. Now let's go ahead and I'm going to do a little work in here and make the little cut for the arms, creases in the arms, and the same way over here, making it I have been very fortunate. I have not ever, I've nicked myself but never cut myself badly. I do know some people who have cut themselves badly and have had a lot of problems with their hands since then. So you want to be careful. And I'm going to make a cut in here. And just make a little cut along here. Okay, where it gives it that look. Okay, look like that. And I'm just going to kind of come down here and make a little cut there, and come from the inside. It's kind of hard to see, and remove that right there. See how I'm using the tip of my knife for most things? Okay. Now, when it comes to the head, you go ahead and round that off. We will not put a hat on him like I did on the, if you look at the little wood chopper, put a little hat on him. And I carved the axe separate and just slipped it into the hand. A little snow scene. And if you look here, you can see now he really fits just perfect on this thing. Okay. All right, I'm gonna come from each side of the face like this, and I'm gonna take off just like that. See how easily I do that? And then I come down here and I make a place for my nose. And I make a little cut. And bring on each side of the nose, I make a little cut and bring that up like that. And I make the nose big, and then I start cutting it down. And I come down each side like that, and I make a little cut. And I come in on the other side just like that, and I make a little cut. And there, and that way I separate very lightly. See, I'm not taking off a lot at one time, and the knife has to be sharp. Okay.